The day Mamuna told me I was too local for her new life, I was holding the ring I'd saved 8 months to buy. I stood there in her fancy new apartment, the one another man paid for, watching her pack my old shirts into a garbage bag like they were rags. Like our 3 years together were trash. Like I was nothing. My name is Peter, and this is the story of how the girl I loved more than my own life became someone I didn't recognize. But before you judge her, before you call her names, you need to understand how Lagos can change a person, how money can rewrite a heart, how fast dreams can turn into nightmares. Because what happened to us? It could happen to anyone. I met Mamuna in our final year at the Polytechnic in Benin. She was beautiful, but not the loudest girl on campus. Quiet, smart, the kind of girl who smiled with her whole face when she laughed. She studied business administration. I studied electrical engineering. We met at the library. I was struggling with a project, cursing under my breath, when she leaned over from the next table. "You know you're doing that calculation wrong, right?" I looked up, annoyed. "Excuse me?" She pointed at my paper. "That formula. You're using the wrong one. That's why it's not balancing." I checked. She was right. "Thanks," I muttered, embarrassed. "You're welcome." She went back to her book, smiling. That's how it started. Simple, easy, real. We became friends first, study partners. Then one evening after exams, we sat outside her hostel talking until midnight. The conversation was so good, I didn't want it to end. "Peter, can I ask you something?" "Sure." "Why don't you have a girlfriend? You're smart. You're decent. Girls notice you." I shrugged. "I'm focused on finishing school, getting a job, building something real. Most girls want money I don't have yet." She looked at me for a long moment. "Not all girls." 2 weeks later, we started dating. Mamuna wasn't from money. Her parents were farmers in a small village in Edo State. She was the first person in her family to go to school past secondary. She was on scholarship, working part-time selling recharge cards just to survive. I wasn't rich either. My mother was a trader in Warri. My father died when I was 12. She sold clothes in the market every day to pay my fees. I knew what struggle looked like. That's why Mamuna and I understood each other. We were both hungry, not just for food, but for something better. We dreamed together, planned together, suffered together. There were days we shared one plate of rice because that's all we could afford. Days we walked instead of taking a bus to save 20 naira. Days we sat in my tiny room, no light, just talking in the dark about the future. "One day, Peter," she would say, her head on my chest, "we're going to make it. You'll be a big engineer. I'll run my own business. We'll build a house, have children, laugh about these hard days." "I believe that," I always replied. And I did. I believed in us. We graduated the same year. I stayed in Benin looking for work. Mamuna went back to her village to help her parents on the farm while searching for jobs. For 6 months, nothing came. No job. No opportunity. Just rejection emails and closed doors. Then one day, her cousin Zanab called her. Zanab lived in Lagos. She was the kind of girl who always had money, but nobody knew where it came from. Expensive hair, designer bags, a different man every month. "Mamuna, what are you doing in the village wasting your life?" Zanab said over the phone. "Come to Lagos. There's money here. Opportunities. You're too fine to be suffering in that village." Mamuna was hesitant. "I don't know, Zanab. Lagos is expensive, and I don't have connections. That's why you have me. Just come. Stay with me. I'll show you how things work." Mamuna called me that night. "Peter, Zanab wants me to come to Lagos." My stomach tightened. I didn't trust Zanab. I'd met her once, and everything about her screamed trouble. I don't think that's a good idea, Mamuna. Why not? Because Zanab isn't the kind of person you should be around. She doesn't work. She just moves with men. I don't want that life for you. Peter, I'm not going to Lagos to sleep around. I'm going to find a job. To build something. You know me better than that. I know you. But Lagos changes people. Not me. I promise. I wanted to believe her. So I swallowed my fear and supported her decision. Okay. But stay close to God. And call me every day. I will. 3 days later, she was gone. The first month, everything seemed fine. Mamuna called me every night. She told me about the city, the traffic, the noise, the hustle. She was staying with Zanab in a 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki. She was looking for jobs, dropping CVs, going for interviews. It's hard, Peter, she said one night. These people want experience, but how do I get experience if no one gives me a chance? Keep trying, baby. Something will come. I miss you. I miss you too. By the second month, the calls became shorter, less frequent. Mamuna, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just tired. Lagos is draining. Have you eaten? Yes, Peter. Stop worrying. But I did worry, because her voice was changing. The warmth was fading. She sounded distracted, distant. Then one evening, she called me excited. Peter, I got a job. That's amazing. Where? A boutique in Victoria Island. It's a sales job. The pay isn't much, but it's something. I'm so proud of you, Mamuna. Thank you, baby. I couldn't have done this without your support. For a moment, I felt relief. Maybe Lagos wasn't going to change her after all. I was wrong. By the third month, everything shifted. The calls stopped coming every day. When I called her, she didn't always pick up. When she did, the conversations were quick. Cold. Mamuna, talk to me. What's going on? Nothing, Peter. I'm just busy. Work is stressful. Too busy for me? That's not fair. Then make time. She sighed. I'll try. But she didn't. I started noticing things on her WhatsApp status. Pictures of her at fancy restaurants, clubs, beach parties. Her clothes looked different, more expensive. Her hair was always freshly done. Her nails, too. I called her one night. Mamuna, where are you getting money for all these outings? I thought the boutique job didn't pay much. She laughed. Peter, relax. Zanab takes me out sometimes. It's not a big deal. Zanab? The same Zanab who doesn't work. She has friends. They invite us. It's networking. Networking? Yes, Peter. This is Lagos. You have to connect with people if you want to move forward. Something about the way she said it felt wrong. But I didn't push. I didn't want to fight. Just be careful, Mamuna. I'm not a child, Peter. The line went dead. By the fourth month, Mamuna became a stranger. She posted pictures with men I didn't know. Expensive cars, hotels, champagne bottles. Her captions were different too. Living my best life. Lagos baddest. No dulling. I called her. She didn't pick. I sent messages. She left me on read. Finally, she called me back 2 days later. Peter, what do you want? Her tone was sharp. Impatient. What I want? Mamuna, you've been ignoring me for days. Who are these men you're posting with? They're friends. Friends? Friends who buy you drinks and take you to hotels. Peter, are you accusing me of something? I'm asking you a question. And I'm telling you they're friends. Business connections. You wouldn't understand. Try me. She laughed. It was bitter, mocking. Peter, You're still in Benin struggling to find a job. You don't know how Lagos works. Things are different here. Different how? Different as in people help each other. People invest in each other. You can't survive here if you're too proud or too local. Local. Yes, local. Stuck in old thinking. Lagos moves fast, Peter. If you can't keep up, you get left behind. I felt something crack inside me. So, I'm local now? The same Peter who supported you when you had nothing? The same Peter who believed in you when nobody else did? I didn't say. You didn't have to. I hung up. For the first time in 3 years, I cried. A week later, my mother called me. Peter, come home. I need to talk to you. I took a bus to Warri. When I got to her shop, she was sitting outside, tired but strong like always. Sit down, my son. I sat. You've been crying. No, Mama. Don't lie to me. I'm your mother. I know your face. She handed me water. It's that girl, isn't it? Mamuna. I nodded. What did she do? She's changed, Mama. Lagos changed her. She doesn't talk to me anymore. She's always with rich men. She called me local. My mother sighed. Lagos didn't change her, Peter. Lagos just showed her who she really was. What do you mean? Some people only love you when you're all they have. The moment they get options, they forget where they came from. That's not love. That's convenience. But Mama, we suffered together. We had nothing together. How can she just forget? Because poverty, my son, is a very bad friend. It makes people desperate. And desperate people make choices they wouldn't make if they had money from the start. So what do? She looked at me with so much love and sadness. You let her go, and you focus on yourself. Build your life. The right woman will come when you're ready. But this one, she's gone. I didn't want to believe her, but deep down I knew she was right. 2 months later, Mamuna called me. I almost didn't pick up, but something made me answer. Hello. Peter. Her voice was small. Shaky. Mamuna. I need to talk to you. About what? Can you come to Lagos? Please. Why? I can't do this over the phone. Please, Peter. Just come. Against my better judgment, I agreed. I borrowed money for transport and traveled to Lagos the next day. She sent me an address in Lekki. When I got there, I stood outside a tall gate, staring at a mansion. This was where she lived now. A gateman let me in. The compound was massive. Fountain. Cars. Security. Mamuna opened the door, wearing a silk robe. Her hair was in a bonnet. She looked expensive. Polished. Like someone I used to know but didn't anymore. Come in. I stepped inside. The house was cold. Beautiful but empty. Nice place, I said. It's not mine. I figured. We sat in silence for a moment. Why did you call me here, Mamuna? She looked down at her hands. I wanted to see you. To talk. We could have talked on the phone. No. I needed to see your face when I told you. My heart sank. Told me what? She took a deep breath. I'm getting married. The words hit me like a punch. Married? Yes. To Chief. The man who owns this house. He's 52. A businessman. He's been taking care of me. And now he wants to marry me. I stared at her. And you said yes? Yes. Why? She finally looked at me. Her eyes were wet. Because I'm tired, Peter. I'm tired of struggling. Of hoping things will get better. Chief can give me everything. Security. Comfort. A future. What about love? Love doesn't pay bills. Love kept you alive when you had nothing. And nothing almost killed me. She stood up, angry now. You don't understand, Peter. You're still out there dreaming. But I'm done dreaming. I want to live. I want to eat good food. Wear good clothes. Not worry about tomorrow. So you're selling yourself. Her hand flew across my face. The slap echoed in the big, empty room. Get out. I stood slowly, my cheek burning. I came here because I thought maybe you needed me. Maybe you were in trouble. But I see now. You didn't call me to talk. You called me to prove something to yourself. To show me you've moved on. That you're better now. Peter. I bought a ring, Mamuna. Her face froze. I pulled it from my pocket. A simple silver band. Nothing expensive. But it was honest. I've been saving for 8 months. I was going to propose to you. Build a life with you. Slowly. Honestly. Tears ran down her face. But I see now. You don't want slow. You don't want honest. You want fast money and an easy life. I dropped the ring on the table. Congratulations on your wedding. I walked out. Behind me, I heard her crying. But I didn't look back. 6 months after I walked out of that mansion, I got the job that changed my life. A German company setting up operations in Nigeria needed electrical engineers. I applied, did 3 interviews, and got hired. The salary was more money than I'd ever seen. They gave me a car, a house, health insurance, everything. I moved to Lagos, Ikoyi, a quiet area, far from the noise, far from memories. My mother cried when I sent her the first payment. My son, God has answered our prayers. It's just the beginning, Mama. And it was. Work kept me busy. I buried myself in projects, learned new skills, networked with professionals. Within 3 months, I was leading a team. Within 6 months, I was being considered for promotion. People noticed. Women especially. My colleagues introduced me to their sisters, friends, cousins. Everyone wanted to know the fine engineer with sense. But I wasn't interested. My heart was still healing, still learning to trust again. Then I met Grace. Grace was different from every woman I'd met in Lagos. She worked as a doctor at a teaching hospital. Smart, humble, kind. She didn't wear designer clothes or post every moment of her life online. She was private, focused, real. We met at a work event. She was there with her colleague. I was there with mine. Our eyes met across the room, and she smiled. Not flirty, just warm. My colleague noticed. You know her? No. She's a good woman. Serious. Not like these Lagos girls chasing money. How do you know her? Her brother is my friend. Let me introduce you. And just like that, we started talking. Grace didn't ask me what car I drove. Didn't care about my job title. She asked about my mother, my dreams, what made me happy. We went for coffee, then dinner, then walks on the beach. For the first time since Mamuna, I felt something again. Hope. We'd been dating for 3 months when Grace's brother invited us to a wedding. It's my boss, he said. Big man. Chief something. He's marrying some young girl. The whole of Lagos will be there. Grace squeezed my hand. Do you want to go? I hesitated. I hated big Lagos weddings. The show-off. The fake smiles. But I didn't want to be rude. Sure. Let's go. The wedding was at Oriental Hotel. Massive. Gold everywhere. A live band. Celebrities. Politicians. We sat at our assigned table, and I tried to enjoy myself. Grace looked beautiful in her blue dress. I focused on her, not the noise around us. Then the MC's voice boomed. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the bride. Everyone stood. The doors opened, and Mamuna walked in. Time stopped. She was wearing a white wedding dress covered in diamonds. Her makeup was flawless. Her smile was wide, but her eyes were empty. I froze. Grace noticed. Peter, are you okay? I couldn't speak. Mamuna walked down the aisle slowly, waving at guests. The man waiting for her at the altar was old,
fat,
sweating in his expensive agbada.
Chief.
My hands started shaking. Peter, what's wrong? That's her, I whispered. Her who? Mamuna. My ex. Grace's eyes widened. That's the girl who broke your heart. I nodded. She took my hand. Did you want to leave?
No.
I sat down. I want to stay. I needed to see this. I needed to watch her make the choice she said would give her everything. The wedding continued. Vows were exchanged. Rings. Kisses. Applause. Mamuna smiled through it all. But I knew her. I knew that smile. It wasn't joy. It was performance. During the reception, people danced,
ate, drank,
celebrated. I sat quietly, watching. Then Zainab appeared at our table. She looked exactly the same.
Loud.
Overdressed.
Fake.
Peter? She blinked. Is that you? I looked up. Zainab.
Wow.
You've changed, looking fresh. Is this your babe? She eyed Grace. Grace smiled politely. I'm Grace. Nice to meet you. So, Peter, you've finally upgraded. Mamuna was right. Lagos really changes people. I didn't respond. She laughed and walked away. Grace looked at me. That's the cousin?
Yes.
The one who brought Mamuna to Lagos. She seems interesting. That's one word for it. An hour later, I went outside for air. The hotel garden was quiet. A few people smoked in corners. I stood by the fountain, breathing slowly, trying to process everything. Peter. I turned. Mamuna stood there in her wedding dress alone. We stared at each other. What are you doing here? She asked. I was invited. I didn't know it was your wedding. She looked down.
Oh.
Silence. Congratulations, I said. Thank you. More silence. You look different, she said. Healthy. Happy. I am.
Good.
You deserve it. I nodded. So do you. She laughed bitterly. Do I? You made your choice, Mamuna. You got what you wanted. Did I? I looked at her closely. The makeup couldn't hide the tiredness in her eyes, the weight in her shoulders. Are you happy? I asked. She didn't answer immediately. Then, quietly, I'm comfortable. That's not what I asked. Her lips trembled. I don't know anymore. Then why did you do it? Because I was scared, Peter. Scared of staying poor. Scared of suffering. Scared of ending up like my mother. Old, tired, with nothing. So you chose this? I chose security. At what cost? She looked at me with tears in her eyes. Everything. Before I could respond, Chief's voice boomed from inside. Mamuna, where are you? People want to take pictures. She wiped her eyes quickly. I have to go. Mamuna. Please don't, Peter. Don't make this harder. She turned and walked back inside. I stood there, feeling a strange mix of sadness and relief. Sadness for what we lost. Relief that I wasn't the one marrying her. Grace found me a few minutes later. Ready to go home? I nodded.
Yeah.
Let's go. As we drove away, I looked back at the hotel one last time, and I realized something. I didn't lose Mamuna to Lagos. I lost her to fear, and fear, not love, had built her new life. 3 months after the wedding, my phone rang late at night. Unknown number. Hello. Peter, it's me.
Zainab.
What do you want? It's Mamuna. She's in trouble. My heart jumped. What kind of trouble? Chief beat her up.
bad.
She's in the hospital. I sat up.
What?
She found out he has 3 other wives and girlfriends. She confronted him. He beat her and locked her in the house for 2 days. She escaped and came to me. I felt rage rise in my chest. Which hospital? Lagoon Hospital, 6. Peter, she's asking for you. I didn't think. I threw on clothes and drove straight there. When I got to the hospital, Zainab was waiting outside the ward. Where is she? Room 12. But Peter, it's bad. I pushed past her. Inside the room, Mamuna lay in bed, her face swollen, bruises on her arms, bandages on her ribs. I walked slowly to her bedside. Her eyes opened. When she saw me, she started crying. Peter. I sat down, my hands shaking with anger. Who did this to you?
Chief.
He's not who I thought he was. He's a monster. Did you call the police? She shook her head. I can't. He knows people. He'll make it worse. So, you're just going to stay quiet? What choice do I have? Leave him. She laughed painfully. And go where, Peter? Back to the village? Back to nothing. Back to yourself. She looked at me, broken. I don't know who that is anymore. I sat with her in silence for a long time. Finally, I spoke. I can't fix this for you, Mamuna. I can't save you from a life you chose. But I can give you advice. She waited.
Run.
Leave him. Take nothing. Just run. Go back to your village.
Heal.
Start again. It's not too late. But I'll be broke. Ashamed. A failure. You'll be alive.
And free.
That's more than you are now. She cried quietly. I stood up. I have to go. Peter, wait. I stopped. I'm sorry. For everything. For what I said. For who I became. You deserved better. I know. And I walked out. 2 weeks later, I heard Mamuna ran away. She left Chief in the middle of the night. Took nothing but her clothes. Went back to Edo. Back to her parents. Zainab called me, furious. She threw away everything. That life. That money. Because of you. I didn't tell her to leave. I told her to choose herself. And now what? She's back to being a village girl? Maybe. Or maybe she's back to being human. Zainab hissed and hung up. I never heard from Mamuna again. A year later, I married Grace. Our wedding was small.
Just family. Friends.
No noise. No show. My mother cried happy tears. Grace's family welcomed me. Everything felt right. On our honeymoon, Grace asked me something. Do you ever think about her, Mamuna? I thought about it honestly. Sometimes. But not with pain anymore. Just lessons. What did she teach you? That love without character is just a feeling. And feelings change. But character? That's forever. Grace smiled and kissed me. I'm glad you learned that before you met me. Me too. 5 years later, I was at a gas station when I saw her. Mamuna. She was pumping fuel into a small car. She wore a simple dress. Her hair was natural. No makeup. No designer bags. She looked peaceful. Our eyes met. She walked over slowly. Peter. Mamuna. It's been a long time. It has. You look good. Successful. Thank you. So do you. She smiled. I don't look successful. You look free. That's better. She nodded. I am. Finally. What are you doing now? I'm back in school. Studying teaching. I want to work with kids. Give back. That's beautiful. Thank you.
And you?
Married.
Yes.
5 years. 2 kids. Her eyes softened. I'm happy for you, Peter. Really? Are you happy? She looked at the sky, then back at me. I'm learning to be, one day at a time. I smiled. That's all any of us can do. We stood there for a moment, two people who once loved each other, now just human. Take care of yourself, Mamuna. You too, Peter. She walked back to her car. I watched her drive away, and I felt nothing but peace.